Welcome all to week 7 of EDL 740 Zoom session. Last installment in a very fast term. Congratulations to making it to the final mile of this marathon, or as an old track coach, I really think of these 7-week terms more like an 800-meter race. You have to catch your very best gear and stay with it for as long as you can. Thanks to all of you for your feedback in our discussion forum on helping me make decisions about the design of the course in the future. At this point, I'm thinking I need to modify the workload a little bit downward, thanks to the feedback that you all are giving me. But it's testimony to your stick-to-itiveness, or your grit, as in the current lingo. In the education world. I've taught face-to-face courses. I've taught fully online courses, both synchronous and asynchronous. I've taught blended methodology, which actually that's my preferred methodology. I've taught long terms, I've taught summer school, I've taught 11-week terms, and now this is my first run at 7-week terms. So your feedback's been very helpful to me as I began working on course design, or as I have been working on course design for the courses that I'll be teaching in the future. I hope you'll come back and join me in some more learning, or maybe you're in too deep and you can't quit now. I don't know. I'm required, I told you this earlier, I'm required to post grades by 10 a.m. Monday. So you and I both are on a pretty tight deadline for getting this final week's work done and submitted. And I will, as I told you last week, I will probably begin grading those assignments even before you all get finished with them. So one thing I would like for you to do, some of you have been granted late submission opportunities because of some extenuating circumstances. And if you'll go back and take a look at your grades that I've got posted and see if you see gaps in there. And between the two of us, we'll see if we can reconcile and see what the problem is, and make sure you get all your assignments submitted and graded so you get full credit. At this point in time, I don't think there's anybody that's in any kind of danger of not losing credit. By the way, if you are so inclined, we have one student in our class that's right in the eyesight of that hurricane in Florida today. And so thoughts and prayers, and some of you may have family and friends in that area too. Wish them the best safety. As you're aware, you have somebody mute your microphone, please. As you're aware, you have at your disposal all the collective learning from the submissions that you've made in this course for all 7 weeks, and I will continue to do that and post them in the modules 7 documents. You can take this or leave this advice, but for your consideration, you might consider downloading those things and saving them in a place where you know you can get to them in the future. Some of that stuff could be helpful to you in future classes. Some of it could be helpful to you if you pursue further degrees, and some of it could be helpful to you in the eventuality that you end up with that school leadership position that you think you want right now. Okay, those are the only remarks that I have prepared for you for the evening. I'm going to open the floor to you and let you ask me questions about the course, about the final, about next courses that I may be teaching, or about problems of practice, or we can talk about your dog that died. Whatever you want to talk about. The floor is open. Andrew, I think, Andy, I think I have the Zoom session recording for once. Maybe correctly this time.
It looks like you got it going on. I see it in the top left corner. Yeah. So just to clarify, I know you said that you got to start getting your grades in and everything. So we have still till Sunday. I'm trying to double up each night to get things done quick, or just what everything's going on in my world. It's pretty hectic, of course, with everybody else. Yep. But so if it's in by, say, Sunday morning, Saturday at best, you know, hopefully Saturday at the latest, everything's good with all of that?
Oh, yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay, because I'm in the internship too. With the internship, I know you sent out an email for us to submit our hours in everything. And with the internship, I know you had certain things that you wanted done, you know, like crisis plans and stuff like that. What is there further, like I have one more spot in the, or one more time in the internship to go. Is there more? Are you continuing as the lead learner in that? Or?
Yeah, I am, Andy. I have a 1-year contract, so unless I sexually harass one of you or do physical harm to one of you, they're going to have a hard time firing me before this school year is over. So yeah, I'm going to be your internship supervisor for this fall and the coming spring, unless I get thrown in jail for something.
Sounds good. No, I appreciate it. Thank you for everything. It's been good. I've enjoyed it.
Thank you. Other questions, if you got them?
I have a question.
Right.
So I am about to start my internship. Like, will you send me in? Like, how do I know if I'm actually in the internship for the next 7 weeks? Like, I'm saying I am, but I mean, what's my word? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, you know, that's good practice for school administration, because we just make crap up all the time. Give yourself whatever title you want.
Okay.
In that week, that interim week between the 2 terms, they will give to me the roster of the students that are enrolled in that internship. And you will get an email or a message from me, and you and I will have a shared Google document in which you will document the internship activity hours that you got, but it also serves as the syllabus for the course.
Okay.
It's everything you need to know in one document, but you'll get that from me.
Okay.
In the week running up to the start of the term.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Thanks for the question. Other questions, if you got?
Nelson, do we have to do our intern hours into task stream?
I've been in communication with Dr. Perry on that. I think in the grand scheme, what they envision is all that stuff getting uploaded into task stream. Although we've been having some hiccups on our side of the equation, and it's frankly it's been a little bit awkward. And this is my first time to even I haven't even been familiar with TaskStream before. But to answer your question, because of the hiccups that we've had, what I'm doing is capturing all the stuff that you and I have in that shared document and saving it. And if you've already told me that you're done, I've calculated your hours and I've turned your editing rights off. So that document, you can still view that document, but you can't get in there and modify it anymore. I mean, unless you want to, you'll have to ping me to open it back up to you.
No.
But bottom line is, as far as the hours logged, I'm just holding those. I've got those, and so they can evaporate or disappear, and we'll have permanent record of them on our side. What Dr. Perry asked me to have you do, and I've been sending that in a response email to you when you ping me about the completion of your hours, is that if you have your interview summaries in some other format or in another document, he wants you to upload those into TaskStream. And so the portal that you're supposed to upload it into is in the email that I'm sending back to you there.
Okay. Okay, thanks.
Another question about the intern hours. Alright. Another question about the intern hours is if I've completed intern hours under Dr. Perry. And so do you have those? I mean, they were uploaded in TaskStream, but
Yes.
I wasn't real sure who had what or if I needed to add those or find them.
We got them. Yeah, if you uploaded them into TaskStream and PDF.
Okay. Oh, sorry about that.
Other question?
So you said no textbook for ED 720, correct?
Correct. Yeah. The LSU, this is actually the fourth university that I've taught classes for. And for years, I've wanted to teach classes purely with open source materials. But LSU Shreveport is the first one that's given me the green light to do that. And I think it's because of the cottage industry professors are in, with the textbook writing and stuff. But I've been on your side too. I'm doubtful that any of you will ever spend as much money on education as I have. The whole time that I was going to school, my lovely bride would raise her eyebrows at me when she was writing the check. And I would say, just remember, dear, education is its own reward. Didn't pay it all that well, but it is.
Okay, I'm back. I have 2 additional questions.
Great.
First of all, like I said, I'm starting my internship. When do you recommend, if at all, I go? Because I'm supposed to finish in the spring, the second spring term. At that point, when do I take the that praxis, the leadership praxis? Like, should I take it after I'm done with everything, or what?
You're talking about your credentialing exam?
Yes, sir.
And are you in Louisiana?
Yes, sir.
So you'll be taking the SLLA.
Yes.
My recommendation to you would be to take it toward the end of your enrollment in our program, because every course, and even including the internship, will expose you either to content or experiences that'll make you smarter with regard to school leadership and the kinds of expectations and requirements that you'll be faced with when you step into those roles.
Okay.
So,
all right.
My recommendation would be later in the program. And now, you're not already in a school leadership position, are you?
No, sir.
Okay. Well, we have some folks that are acting assistant principals and directors and those kinds of things. So, I mean, if you had a job that required you to have the credentials, that'd be a different deal. But my advice would be to wait. You said you had 2 questions.
Okay, and what are you teaching for the next 7 weeks aside from this internship course? I'm just being nosy at this point.
Okay, nosy's fine. You can ask me anything you want. Right now, I'm scheduled to be the only teacher for EDL 720, which is a curriculum course.
Okay.
I'm also currently scheduled to split the teaching possibly with another professor, depending on how many of you enroll in which courses. And that would be EDL 710.
Okay.
And that one's kind of iffy right now. I looked a few days ago at the enrollment on EDL 720, the curriculum course, and there's about 80 of you enrolled in that one. So I have a feeling that that's probably the only one besides the internship supervision.
Okay.
Whatever they tell me to do, I'll do. I'll salute smartly and charge up the hill in the face of fire.
Okay. I was asking because I have to take 720, and I just wanted to make sure it was you. Thank you.
Uh-huh.
I mean, not like I can control who they put there, but I would rather you.
Jana asked me, what about if you have blanks in your grade book on EDL 740, this current course? If there's blanks in there, it tells you and me, and in fact, I went through over the last couple of days through modules 1 through 5, looking and trying to make sure that I had everybody's stuff. So if you still have blanks there, it means I couldn't find your submission for that assignment. What has happened with some frequency in the course is that some of you, particularly on those research articles, for instance, in week 3, if you were looking for 3 research articles, you would open up Learning Task 3.2 and make 2 entries under that one. And so I've been able to practice my sleuthfulness and been able to find some of those double entries in the wrong places. But if there's still blanks there, Jana, it means I couldn't find the submission for that assignment. If you want to go back in there and re-enter it, that's fine, because I'm going to make another run at it. I'm not going to close the grades out till I've looked at the very last time. Other questions? Can you? Lasona said she could barely hear me. Am I doing any better now? Okay, great. Say a prayer for me. I applied for instructional leader position today, and I'll be scheduling my SLLA test very soon, so I can graduate. Yeah, you bet. Careful what you wish for. Okay. I hear the chickens. They're calling me to come get the eggs. If you're not going to ask me questions, I'm going to have to go back to work. Thanks for that input, Andy. You all know how to reach me. And I think you know by now, I'm pretty responsive, pretty timely on the comeback. Thank you all for making me smarter this year, or this term. For those of you that are finishing up, congratulations. Best wishes to you, and use me as you need me, all of you. And for those of you that are having future classes, well, I promise I'm always in the process of trying to get it better and do it right on your behalf. So I think I've got this thing recorded appropriately this time, so I'll save the recording and upload it into our modules so you can refer back to it or post it on YouTube or do a parody or something. All righty. Good luck to you.